So thank you everyone. Thank you all of you for joining us for Beyond 9 to 5. It's a pleasure to have you with us. And just it's not every day that we get so many leaders like yourself for a podcast like this. Just to start on a very simple note, and maybe probably we can start with you, Yask. If you were not in this line right now, line of business right now, what is the alternate career that you think you would be a part of? Completely different it could be.
I have always wanted to be in fact, I've always thought that selling books is something that I would really love doing, possibly being a librarian or something like that. I'm not too sure whether that's a very lucrative one, but I used to love reading books, and I like this idea of, somebody giving you inputs about the books that you want to buy. So therefore, selling books, being a librarian is something that I would be, maybe in an alternate life, I would want to be.
That's very, very different from what I thought it could be. Maroji, what do you think? What would be the career that you would be in?
I want to be in airlines, and somehow I achieved that level. But not as a CIO, to be honest, I was very passionate about airlines. Doing something on aviation industries, and starting with a career as a pilot. I thought this is the easiest way to do that, but the only thing is it's very expensive doing the pilot, especially in India. You have to have CPL, PPL license. Out of India is probably very easy, but it's very expensive. That's beyond control and beyond my budget. So now I started my career in the same way, not directly with pilot, but in the aviation industry itself.
So basically from one wanting to be a pilot to handling on the airlines now at some point of time.
I should be. But to be honest, in aviation industry last 25 years, I touch upon everything. Technology, your back operation, and you name it, any software in industry, especially in aviation, I have it. I know the knowledge, except I can't fly the aircraft.
Kapil, what do you think would have been the best option for you?
I think I would have been a musician. Was on that road, did a lot of shows and all of that. But I think we're a little early for India in terms of... So we started with Hindi rock, but it was hard to... It would sell in the colleges and all, because, you were playing in IITs and in the college festivals. But I think when you went to the record labels, they just felt, this is like metal, rock, won't work. And then I think 2-3 years down the road, when life happened, then we had, some of the bands that came in, and then the people really loved the music, right? So probably I gave up a little early on that way.
That's what I would have been. That's wonderful. Abhin, what do you think would have been your option?
So if not this, then I would be a professor, and probably in a Harvard or a Wharton, where I really want the last 10 years of my active life. Still, I believe that I will get into that and live that specific way of life, because that comes from my father, who made this choice of serving through being a professor. That's what he chose and was there, and that's what I think I would be doing if not this.
That's absolutely some wonderful answers that I've really got. So if we were to have this fun icebreaker that we want to get in, is this known as this or that? I'd probably just kind of put in some options in front of you randomly, and you could answer. So Maruji, tea or coffee for you? What do you prefer?
Tea. I prefer tea.
Wonderful. Yas, call or text?
Call, anytime.
Abhin, road trip or a flight?
Flight.
This is definitely apt for you. Kapil, classic rock or pop music?
Classic rock.
Anyone can in fact answer. Board games or video games?
Board.
Board
Games.
Board game, yes.
Right? I think now the generation that is there, they're completely into video games.
I think we do too much tech that we need a break from it.
Correct.
No, I want actually more to do it with my daughter. I want her to be away from screen, and my time, whatever I get with her, I want to do the board games. That feeling of touching those dices, she understanding those elements of factor of luck, right?
So I play chess every day. At least 3 or 4 games I play chess every day for sure. That is something, and honestly, I think that point of time you're also able to think about certain things while playing it. So definitely that is one thing. But that's, yeah. This question is for everyone probably. You ask, what do you think? You're an introvert or an extrovert?
The very definition of extrovert or the introvert, I mean, it would not clearly apply, but I would say I've been somewhere in between. Very difficult to answer, honestly.
Abhin, what about you?
Ambivert is the word. Right? With someone, I am comfortable. I am there beyond 9 to 5 as long as it takes, with friends, this. But when it is work, it is more like clinical execution, cut.
In fact, we were discussing internally right now with the entire team that this has actually become a thing with everyone. Like, you all are mentioning. It's nothing now like a complete introvert or a complete extrovert. You just know where to.
See, what I will just add to this is I don't know if you guys have read also. It's a 4,000 week. There is a book called 4,000 week. Very interesting book, right? Which actually argues that we have got our time management wrong. The inbox 0 we have got wrong, right? I tried to do inbox 0 and I realized that more people started sending me mails. Because when I started doing GTD, the getting things done, more people knew that he will get things done, right? So it started giving me more of things. And in fact, the same thing which I was running away from so that I could do something else. So that, odd 80 years on this relatively unknown planet called Earth, right? And we are trying to make sense of the limited time of so-called leadership we have, right? In that time, you have to, when I have my daughter there, all I want is to spend time looking at her.
That's right. That reminds me of my boss, ex-boss, telling me, the reward of good work is more work. Yeah. So the day you start to deliver, they expect more out of you for sure. So,
Absolutely, because I would like to add a couple of more things. I can see the last couple of years, total environment is getting changed very fast. So sometimes you confuse. You should be introvert or extrovert because today environment is very political. What you try to open in market and people are catch hold and immediately they create some persona which is you are not. So this is very
The
careful when
context
you
is
are
always
talking
missed.
about in a public domain.
Right? People take away that specific part
Absolutely.
and then
Kapil, what do you left with?
I think I'll probably use both of you, ambivert or selectively introvert or selectively extrovert. Right. I mean, the nature of the job is if you have to speak up in the board meeting, you have to. Your role requires you to do that.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I'm kind of comfortable with people that I know. But if I have to be in a meeting and talk to a stranger, I'll do it if the need of the hour is. But I won't automatically just go and, that's like a real definition of an extrovert? Probably not.
So this is, I think this goes with everyone. So do you like to plan everything or you just go with the flow?
Not plan it, to be honest. Today is entire environment is very volatile. So I would say if you plan something, is not exactly executed the same way.
I would like to plan the chaos. It's I cannot go with the flow anymore. Gone are the days. I would want some kind of a planning to be there for this unplanned things to be done. That's if that is possibly the right phrase or the right sentence.
What about you, Ben?
So I plan to the T, right? So it is like loosely held but very well fenced. Right? So within this fence, everything is allowed. Make changes, but do not go past this fence because I have regulations to follow. Right. And so we plan to the T, and then once that is done, then don't try to push the river. Let the river flow.
But that is completely there in your personal life as well now?
Yeah. So I have absolute faces and I am very blessed to have a partner who understand that. Right now I am doing my 75 hard this year. So I am from morning to night scheduled, blocked.
Right.
Even 1 hour extra is not there. Right. So if anything happens, then work will take priority and exercise will take priority. Everything else will take a backseat.
Kapil, what about you?
Yeah, I think with respect to work, I believe you have to plan because failure to plan is plan to fail. But when it comes to personal, it's a contrast. So if I have to go to a road trip, I'll do the bare minimum, like book the flights and all, and then I'll just go with the flow, right? If I want to get up lazy one day, and then I don't want to plan it like, oh, I'm going to go see to this and do that. And like he said, even my partner is like that, so no one complains.
So, Abhin, are you an early riser or you're a?
Early riser. Early.
What time do you start your day?
4:30.
4:30, is it?
Yeah, 4:30.
That's pretty. So you basically, and what time do you sleep?
10:30, 11.
So you get usual sleep hours that you have, what, 5.5, 6 hours a day.
5 hours, yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful.